Hey guys, Mrs. Messier here again. Hope you're doing well. Quick little lesson today on scientific notation. So scientific notation, it's another nice little shorthand way of writing things. So instead of writing numbers that are really big or really small, a decimal with a lot of digits after it, as the whole number, it's a little shorthand way that we can do to express something that's equivalent. So if you've seen scientific notation before, it looks something like this. It's going to be a number, and that number in the front has to be a number that's no smaller than 1, and it has to be less than 10. So basically, we have to have it start with, it's a 1 digit in the ones place. There's a going to be 1 unit. So here it would be a 3. Here it's a 2.4. We might have numbers after the decimal place, but there always seems to be 1 digit in front of your decimal. Now, if we are multiplying by 10 to the 4th, think about what 10 to the 4th is. You multiply something by 10, 3 times 10, for example, would be 30. That just adds a 0. If you're multiplying 3 by 100, so which would be 10 to the 2nd, that would add 2 zeros. And so in this case, we're adding 4 zeros. And so the other way of doing that is, since it was 3, think about the decimal place was here. We move our decimal place over 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this case, it was adding 4 zeros. So my answer is 30,000. It's not always adding that number of zeros, though. You want to think about it as moving the decimal place that many times. So on this one, I'm going to write the 2.4 over here. I'm multiplying by 10 to the 5th. So I am moving that decimal place. If I multiply 2.4 by 10, it turns into 24. If I multiply 2 by 4, 0.4 by 100, it turns into 240. So I'm going to make little bubble marks. I'm going to say, okay, I move the decimal place over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I fill in the places as I was moving my imaginary decimal. I fill in with zeros, and so we end up with 240,000. Now, if we work in exactly the opposite direction from that, so if I started with 1,230,000, my decimal place is right here to start with. If we wanted to put it into scientific notation, we look and say, okay, how many places do I need to move the decimal point over until I have 1 number in front of it? So I would want it to be right there. So when I move that over, I've got 1.23. I'm not going to bother writing all of the zeros, times 10 to the, and then we count how many places did we move our decimal over. We moved it over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So that would be 1.23 times 10 to the 6th. Now, other way around, though, in scientific notation can come in handy, is if we had a small number, something that was less than 1. And so we'd move the decimal over 1, 2, 3, 4 places. We'd have 1.5 times 10 to the, now it's not 5th, because that would have been if we were moving it the other way. And so we actually technically were dividing by powers of 10 on this one. And so we moved it over 1, 2, 3, 4 times. But we were moving in the negative direction. But this negative isn't because we're moving it in the negative direction. It's because we essentially were, if you think about what that means, is I was taking 1.5 and I was dividing it by 10 to the negative 4th would be 10 to the positive 4th down there. Remember those little negative powers that we were doing? Okay, so if it's a number smaller than 1, negative power. If it's a number that's bigger than 1, positive power. There we go. Good luck. Go get that homework done. Try to keep things on time, guys. Have a great day.